Is networking worth it? Why are we so scared of it? Coming up on this episode of BTS Raw Chats.
This is BTS Raw Chats. BTS Raw Chats. Where real media creators chat after hours. We don't give away raw files. We give you the raw, behind-the-scenes chatter of the photo and video production world. The Raw Chat starts now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of BTS Raw Chats, where real media creators are talking about what really happens within the production industry. And by the way, BTS behind the scenes. We want this show to help others out there, help to deal with the day-to-day things that really happen in the industry, from dealing with difficult customers to tips and tricks. And today we're going to be talking about networking. What do we mean by networking, and why is it so scary, the word networking? Sherry, welcome to the show. Tell me a little bit about your experiences with networking.
I've had some good experiences and also some not so good experiences. I'm the type, I think because I am just overall creative, I'm not necessarily a people person, but it depends. It depends on what it is. Like, I often go to, like, they call them content creation parties, where you just kind of like mingle with other creative people. So you got, video people, photographers, models, all kinds of artists, just for, them to come together and you network, and you meet this person, you meet that person, you might meet a model, and you do like a creative collab, and you do a shoot, or you meet a videographer, and you just kind of meet all kinds of people that enjoy the same things that you do.
So what do we mean by networking? Well, the definition of networking is, simply put, the action or process of interacting with others to exchange information, develop professionally and social contacts. Whether it's networking with different industries or whether it's networking with other content creators or creative people, it's super important to network. It is super important to network. But we have this stigma that if we network with another creator or if we network with another content creator, they're going to take our jobs, Then we go like this. But we should just get over that stigma, because we're all in this together,
we really are.
This is the way.
Something that happened recently was, I reached out to another creative person because I really, I thought they did good work, and we live in the same area, and I'm just I've been stuck in a rut for a little while, so I just kind of wanted to meet somebody else that enjoys the same type of things that I do. I don't know, whatever. Just I appreciate your work, trying to network, but it wasn't received that well, and it was kind of uncomfortable almost. Like, I got that vibe where they're like, I'm not really sure where she's coming from. It kind of fizzled out. But meanwhile, I've met people before, and you're like, hey, because it's nice to meet other people that you could bounce ideas off of.
Right.
But some people take that as they almost get like a little, like what do you want to bounce ideas off of me for? Like, that's my idea. Don't take my idea. Like,
Exactly.
But I think it could be coming from like an insecure place. Maybe they're just not that confident in their work, and they think that somebody else is gonna come in and scoop out their work, or I don't know, like.
No, you're absolutely right. And it's crazy because I feel, and I don't know if a lot of people out there feel the same way, but as a creative person, sometimes I feel
like intimidated, or no?
Not intimidated, but self-cautious.
Yeah. Or like if somebody asked you, like, hey, how do you do this? And you're like, I'm not going to tell you.
Exactly. Cause
figure it out yourself.
The biggest reasons why I think is I built my ass off to train myself on a day-to-day basis. And for somebody to come in and just, what I'm saying, scoop up that information and just use it. And it makes them look like a, you know what I'm saying? It makes them like all powerful. Yeah. But in reality, they don't know everything that you do. And you do things in a different way,
Right.
right? One of my biggest passions in the industry is being an editor. And I've always expressed this to all of my bosses that people edit differently than I do. I have a different vision than you do.
That's true.
Maybe the transition is slightly different. Maybe the look is slightly different. We just got to build our confidence in ourselves.
Right. Like that's a good point. Like you do have your own style. Like say I just met you and we're networking. Even if I tell you how I do everything I do, that doesn't mean that you're going to be able to do it the way that I do it.
Exactly.
So, for somebody to maybe take offense or become intimidated, like, oh, I'm not going to network with her because she may try to take my clients or whatever the situation is. Like, it doesn't matter because my work is my work.
Exactly.
So I can tell you every secret. I could tell you how I do everything from beginning to end. You're not going to be able to duplicate the way that I do it. And the same goes for them. I'm not going to be able to shoot or produce what they did because that's their style.
Exactly.
And that's why people gravitate towards different styles of work, Not
Exactly.
everybody loves, in studio, plain seamless paper background, or maybe you want something outdoors, beautiful sunset. I mean, I do both, but some people are just better at other things, and people like other people's style for different reasons.
Exactly. One of the other most important things that we have to learn to do as creators and as people in general is we have to learn how to talk with other people, but not just talk with them, listen. One of the biggest...
I'm sorry, what? I wasn't listening.
Exactly. My point is that when you're networking, whatever network background it is, absorb, listen, because you're probably going to be missing some important information that could help you in the long run.
That's true.
Big, huge shout out to NAB. By the way, we're not sponsored by NAB, even though we wish we were. But NAB is, if you don't know it, NAB is the National Association of Broadcast event that happens every year in Las Vegas. And all the major players are out there. And the biggest thing that I loved about it, and I've only been to the event once, was this is my world. I am networking with other people that understand my frustrations. I am networking with, oh my God, that's a person from Adobe. Oh my God, that's a person from Cinema 4D. You know what I'm saying? Or
you're among your people.
Exactly. And what's crazy is you get hands-on training. You get hands-on with the latest products that are coming out in the industry. And the biggest thing is that you have to network with other people. Having that connection with these people. I've had business cards that are stacked up to the ceiling of people that I've networked just going to NAB alone.
Yeah.
Also, I've networked with people at Comic-Con. It's crazy how many creative people are at Comic-Con. Just at Comic-Con, filmmakers, makeup artists.
And unique because we all work together.
Exactly.
Exactly. You might be doing a shoot. You need a makeup artist. You need somebody that does hair. You need somebody that does special effects makeup.
Exactly.
We all kind of help each other out at some point. So it's like, I'm not going to just network with only photographers. Like, no, it's a broad area of people that specialize in different things. That it's good to like, oh, I know a guy that does this. Oh, yeah, I know a girl that does that.
Exactly. We have to get out of the one-man band mentality.
Yeah, I was guilty of that for a while. But I think it comes down to like control too, because you're kind of like, I like things a certain way.
You could have control.
Yeah.
That is what is called a director.
But sometimes you take it like to a different level.
Exactly. Exactly. But it's important to have that networking and because you can't do it alone. You really can't do it alone.
Right. And you have to find somebody that you trust.
Exactly.
To give them some of that control.
And back to my favorite quote. People like working with people they like. That's another.
That's a good one.
People like working with people they like.
That's true.
I've ran into situations where I've ran into people that are in the industry, have been in the industry for years, but either one, they talk a lot, or they have just the biggest attitude, and people just don't like that negative energy.
Right.
So
or like you're trying to help them or explain things, they just get upset and start throwing stuff. it sets the mood and everybody gets, you feel that. And it kind of, it messes up the flow of your shoot because everybody's cranky.
Why would you want to be around that type of environment? Why would anybody want to be around that type of environment unless you're in an abusive relationship?
Exactly, yeah.
Well, back to what I was talking about. For many years, I've realized that skills really matter less than personality. Personality
that's a good one.
always wins.
That's a good one.
You could be in the industry for years, but like if your attitude sucks and if you have no personality, if you're like blah, you're not going to make it in this industry.
Right.
You're not going to make it in any type of business. In any industry,
yeah. But it's true. You can be like an okay, say artist. But if you have a great personality and people love being around you and you have fun, then you're like, hey, I want to work with that person again. Like, even though she may not be the best.
Exactly.
Or he may not be the best. But we vibe and together we get it done.
Right. There's an old church saying that, treat others the way that you want to be treated.
Or if you have somebody that is, on top of their game, but they're, an a-hole.
And I don't like to see people hurting one another, but that's not what the game is.
Then you're like, I don't care how good you are. I'm not working with you again.
Back to my point. We used to work together a little bit, little background. Sherry took over my spot at that other place.
I was like, get out of here. Get out of here, Dave.
Yeah. But I could have been a complete jerk and not showed you anything because literally the week that she was there, I'm so sad. The week that she was, actually the day that she was there. I'm going to run that button out.
The little tear.
Yeah. The day that she was there and I introduced myself. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you're going to be replacing me. And she's like, what?
Like, I really don't know why I'm here.
But it's like, but I showed you, you know what I'm saying? At least enough to get you by.
You showed me a lot because you were actually on a shoot that morning.
Exactly.
And you took the time out and you showed me this is my note taking. This is how I do this and this is how I do that.
This is the way.
Exactly. And folks, that was 4 years ago and we are still, interacting with each other.
Look at us now.
And it's been civil.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The whole time. We vent against each other.
Yeah.
Hence BTS Raw Chats.
Exactly.
Because we want to help other creatives out there because we know how difficult it is, especially being either A, being on your own, or B, working with somebody that doesn't appreciate you.
Right.
So so it brings us back to another point. We'll come back after this commercial break.
Sherry Elisa Photography specializes in beautifully styled modern portrait photography, offering professional in-studio photography services to all of Southwest Florida. Push creativity to the next level. Create custom themes that will complement every personality and style. On-site professional hair and makeup is also available. Our studio is conveniently located off US 41 and Boy Scout Drive, next door to the Sam's Club Plaza. Book your spot now with SherryElisaPhotography.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back on BTS Raw Chats, and we're talking about networking and getting over the scary world of networking and just stop it.
just stop it.
Stop it. But one thing I want to get back on, we're falling into our key element tips, segment of the show. One definitely for sure opportunity is to go to NAB. If you have an opportunity to go to NAB at least once, just to get your feet wet, it's super important to network on these different shows. And it doesn't have to necessarily be NAB. What was
same
one?
As WPPI, which is the conference and expo for the premier industry event for photographers and image makers. Every year they have a big expo.
Now
it's everything photography.
Now
it's like a dream come true.
Ooh.
I just can't afford to go there, so it's in Vegas this year.
I mean, if you have the money and if you like Vegas, definitely for sure go to a show. I love the events that they have over there, and that's why I go. But besides the point, it's important to network not only in shows but also network on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? You know, network on Instagram. On there's so many social media platforms. Right. The only important thing is you have to have, you know, that connection. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be live, you know, or whether it be, you know, one-on-one. I know during this time going through a pandemic, but that's not necessarily an excuse not to network with people.
Right.
You can network with people through video conferencing.
Yeah, it's actually a good time to network with people because what else are you doing? Just sitting around?
Exactly.
Yep.
Another good tip is go to film festivals. I know years ago I did an independent movie and it was a small little feature, but it gave me the opportunity to network with so many other filmmakers.
Yeah.
It was cool. We had little live panels and like, how did you feel about making this? What type of mood were you in when you had this shot?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know.
Like, I don't know. I just did it.
I just shot it.
I just did it. I don't know.
I followed the pre-production storyboard.
I followed my checklist.
Another great networking opportunity is the Chamber of Commerce. Kind of, you know, but back to what I'm saying about the Chamber of Commerce, business to business places, because how are you going to pay for your expensive equipment without people paying for your services?
This is a good point.
So it's important to network, and it's important to get yourself out there and really talk yourself up. Tell me a little bit about the event that you were at.
There's a lot of places like in Miami, over on the East Coast, where they used to do a monthly content creation party.
So how do you break the ice?
I don't know. I just go in there. I'm like, hey, what's up? And you're like, because that's how it is. They're so welcoming. Like, it's different than here. I've never experienced anything like that here. If anything, it's the opposite. I feel like people are anti-networking. But whenever I've gone like to Miami or Fort Lauderdale, even Tampa, everybody's just very welcoming. Like, oh, hey, oh, you're a photographer. Oh, hey, you do video. Like, welcome. And it's just one, like, I'm not kidding you. It's one big happy family.
That's crazy.
And, you know, they got a DJ in there, and usually they'll make like 4 or 5 different sets. They have, you know, girls that are aspiring models, so they model, and then you get, you know, people that come in, they want to do video, they want to do photos, and it's like everybody just kind of works together. So basically, you know, you get the opportunity to network and meet new people, but you also get to shoot something that you may not normally get to shoot.
Now, here's another little tip. You don't have to expand on every little thing that you do. If you have secret things that you do that you don't want to share, you don't have to share it, you know? Again, like personality wins over, you know, over skill.
Like, tell me your top secret move.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly, because that's
move.
Yeah, it's your move. It's the way that you do things, you know. But back to my point, you can't be intimidated, you know.
Intimidated, that's the word.
Exactly. You cannot be intimidated by others, because we're all here to grow each other, you know. And maybe a seasonal person might learn something from you. Right.
And that's the thing. You can learn something from anybody. You don't have to be big time or whatever. You know, it may just be something that you didn't know, you know, and that comes from bouncing ideas off of somebody else. You know, you may be talking, I'm like, hey, you know what? I've been meaning to try that. I haven't really gotten a chance to do it yet. Or, you know, oh, that sounds interesting. I'll have to try that. You know, but a lot of people stay away from talking about stuff like that because they don't want you to know that, oh, well, she doesn't know how to do that. Or, you know, oh, you're not comfortable with lighting. You know, you're a natural light photographer. Or, you know, there's just like little things that people don't like to expose themselves because then it makes the other person think that, oh, well, maybe they don't really know like what they're doing. Type of situation.
Exactly. You know? Here's another funny part. Ever thought of going to film school? Why would you? There's so many other opportunities to do film in so many other places. You know, not bashing film schools. The education is out there if you really look for it.
I think, and I think it just depends on the person. And I wouldn't say spend, you know, thousands of dollars on school, but you have to know the basics.
Exactly.
Like, I went to school just because I wanted to learn how initially to be a graphic designer, because I was a traditional artist. So I'm like, I didn't know how to do anything digitally, you know? So, but that opened other doors. So that's where, you know, I learned photography and I learned how to do video and all that stuff. But you may get somebody that goes to, like, say, we won't name the school, but it's a very popular art school north of here.
Yes. Yes.
That's very expensive.
Yeah. Yes.
But I mean, it all comes down to the person. If you have the drive to learn, you just teach yourself, you know, learn the basics. Don't go out and buy a camera and then the next day you have a Facebook business page and you're offering sessions and you want people to pay you, but you don't know the basics of how to work your camera. You have to have that foundation.
Lights, camera, action!
Exactly.
You have to know why it is what you're doing. Again, shoot with a purpose.
Exactly.
You know, you need to know how to compensate for different lighting situations, or you can't just put the camera on auto and be like, I'm going to go shoot your wedding. Pay me $2,500 and I'm going to shoot your whole, you know, wedding.
And here's
on
another
auto.
Exactly. And here's another good tip. If you're starting out, offer your service for free.
Right.
I know that it's scary.
That's what I
to offer
did,
your
and
service
that's
for free.
what I still do, depending. If there's something an idea that I have, I call them creative collabs. And I'm always reaching out for, you know, somebody that maybe wants to model. You don't have to be a professional model, just something so I can practice a new technique.
Right.
Because you can't practice on paid jobs. You
Right.
have to have that time, you know, maybe you want to do something elaborate and creative, something wild, hair and makeup or something that's not your normal, regular session. And that's
Right.
how you learn, you know, you learn by doing.
I have learned from the best. I have to get a shout out to Charlie Grouet. He taught me how to compose shots. You know, I have to get another shout out to Mark Myers. He taught me the business of the industry, and he was a line producer for years. But he's also taught me so many things in my career. I just give him a lot of credit because he admitted, it's funny story about Mark. He was in Baywatch, you know, for a couple episodes.
Like in Baywatch? Was he like in a a
in the
bikini
background? He used to be an actor. So,
okay.
but the biggest thing that he told me was he would shadow other people, and he absorbed how production was ran. He doesn't have a film degree. You know, and from that, he just networked. And he networked with other people, and he grew his own business, and eventually, you know, he spanned out and made his own production company.
Yeah.
But off of that, he paid it forward to other people. Because let's be real, some of these producers, you know, they're going to get you because of the free labor, you know, but you have to work your way up from that. To do the free labor or whatever, you can't just get stuck in there. You know, you have to you have to start.
You still have to get paid
exactly
to do what you do. It can't always be free.
Exactly, but eventually or whatever, personality wins. If you're a good person to work around with, guess what? Oh, I'll pay this guy. You know what I'm saying? X amount of money or whatever to help me out. He did such a great job, and he was right on point.
Right. If people like you, you know, and they value your work, you know, they'll pay you. People, you know, it just all depends on the person.
And again, back to personality. I have a bubbly personality. You know what I'm saying? I like to keep things light and all that stuff. But that has won me a lot of jobs, you know, just based off of that energy, that vibe. Positivity. Right. I'm not going to break that. That's just part of me. Sorry. You know?
It's a good trait to have.
Yeah, thank you.
You're like, this smiling face got lunch.
Exactly. You know, punch me in the face or whatever. I'm so super happy. You know what I mean? But you have to, you know what I'm saying? You have to shrug off the negativity. Yes, negativity will attach to you every once in a while. And it's good to vent that out. But obviously, and it's something that I have to work on, you have to have respect. You know what I'm saying? Respect comes both ways. Right. Back to the personality, people like working with people they like. So I've networked with so many interesting people. It's so crazy. And I've gotten tips from that. For example, my friend Jason, he used to work on Evan Almighty. He used to be a grip guy.
Oh, yeah.
He literally The sad part is he dropped out of the industry because, of the politics and because of all the bull crap that's been going on in the industry. But he has friends that one of the key grips for Steven Spielberg was there. And Jason has told me so many different stories, but the biggest thing that I've learned from Jason is catch lights. And
I love the catch light.
Yeah. And if you don't know what a catch light is, sometimes in photography,
twinkle of the eye.
Exactly. It gives life to the eyes because the eyes are the windows to the soul. So you want to emphasize the eyes by putting a little twinkle of light in the pupil of the eye. He taught me that, and I never knew that for years or whatever. I've been like, do, you know what I'm saying? Like set up a camera and hit record. But lighting, you know what I'm saying? It's a huge thing. And I would have never had that opportunity if I didn't network.
Well, just think if you didn't aim for a catch light, say like in a portrait.
Exactly.
How do people look when they just have black pupils?
Now,
it's not very attractive.
There are certain points. Yeah, there are certain points that directors will not light the eyes.
Well, it depends too on the setting. Are you doing a horror film or it just all. But if you're doing a beauty portrait, you definitely want a beautiful catch light.
Exactly. Exactly. But back to the point. I didn't know any of that. And Jason literally, God bless his soul, if he's listening to the show, he's taught me so many things, and I give him so much gratitude towards him because he's given me the green screen fabric from Final Destination 4.
No way.
He's given me airy 300-watt lights. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what to do with this. I'm just gonna throw it away here.
And those are from like movie sets.
Exactly. And like I've been so grateful for that. And for years now, I've been using the same techniques.
I don't know if you came in to do a video for me with that Final Destination green screen.
It's funny or whatever. It still has the fake blood stains all over the Final Destination.
I've seen those. I don't know.
Exactly. Before we let you go, I want to give a couple shout outs on 3 recommendations that I'd like to give. And by the way, we are not sponsored by these people. These are just tips to help you out. So if you look in the show notes, I sent the show note with one video with impact. Another is from Indeed, talking about job science. And another is from Blue Collar Post Collectives. All these have a different style, not only for the business, but also for the production world as well. So, what is the point of the show?
I don't know, Dave. What is the point?
Networking will never stop. You'll be surprised with the people that you run into. Like the old saying says, treat others the way that you want to be treated.
Good point.
So do you have any final words of wisdom for networking?
Maybe not wisdom, but just if you have a good personality and you're passionate about what you do, I think that'll shine through, and that just says it all.
Exactly. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and take a look at future episodes here on BTS.